Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG WTF LOL FTW BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2013. We are playing as the WWE in the year 2015, and we are booking NXT. This is the start of the Prince of the Ring tournament, nerds and geeks. The little mini tournament we're going to be doing that'll lead up to the King of the Ring tournament, with the winner of the NXT Prince of the Ring tournament being the only NXT superstar to be in the King of the Ring tournament and actually have a chance to become the King of the Ring. Prince of the Ring tournament will see many debuts, returns. It's going to be a fun time, nerds and geeks. In fact, I'm actually pretty excited about this NXT. I actually wrote out some of the stories instead of just, booking things. And I think it's going to be a good time. So let's just go ahead and run the show. So we're going to have 3 pre-show bouts tonight, nerds and geeks. The first pre-show bout gets a 53 C-, way better than before. That's because I actually edited his popularity like I was supposed to. In a bout that had solid in-ring action but non-existent crowd heat, Zach Billington, formerly known as Zack Sabre Jr., defeating Johnny Goodtime, who was one of the independent enhancement talents I went out and hired, and defeated him with the Senior Stretch. Made him tap out in 5 minutes and 57 seconds. Goodtime debuted his Egomaniac gimmick, which got a 77. And also, I took Jason Albert off commentary. If any of you guys remember last week, Jason Albert was giving me actually a lot of issues with the commentary table, being the worst member, and gave me a notification I never saw before until that day. So I went ahead and put Regal on commentary just for now until we get Mike Tenay. Spoiler report, Mike Tenay is coming in. Worker improvements. Unfortunately, Johnny Goodtime, the person I could care less about, is the one who improved, and he's improving in technical. Other than that, though, Zach was penalized for holding back in low momentum. All things I can fix. Moving on, we go to a 55 C-, and about that had solid in-ring action, but not much weight and heat. The Brian Kendrick defeating Bobby Fish with the Cobra Clutch. A lot of submissions tonight. Brian, what are you doing? Well, I'll tell you what he is doing. He's improving in performance skills, so that's pretty rad. What are you, any negatives for you? Let me look. Yes, you got soft drugs, which I can't do a dang thing about, but low momentum, and the holding back I really can't do anything about. It's not a B or a A show or whatever the hell we're calling a pay-per-view. And then our main event of the pre-show gets a 60 C, another match that ends by submission. And the match had some good action, but not much weight and heat. Samoa Joe defeating Curtis Axel with the Coquina Clutch. Unfortunately, the announced quality wasn't up to the same standard, so it seems around like a solid C is when the announced quality just dips down. And Samoa Joe is improving in performance. Also, I would like to check inconsistency, holding back. Oh, that's Curtis Axel. Just these two. Okay. So we go on to the actual start of the show, nerds and geeks. And boy, did this not do good. What can you do? It's NXT. This is their first angle anyway, so I'm not going to be like, oh, boo, whatever. Who cares? So we have a 52 D+ here, nerds and geeks. Not the best thing to open up the show. In fact, I was kind of hoping for a C. Maybe even a B-. Well, a B- was pushing it, but a C, C- is what I was expecting, not necessarily a D+. Either way, NXT opens up with JoJo in the middle of the ring. She announces, explains the rules of the Prince of the Ring. She's like, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to start the Prince of the Ring tournament. And she explains what's going to happen. It's going to be round 1, round 2, with the, final round, with the winner receiving, or qualifying for WWE's King of the Ring on the main roster, yada, yada, yada. Then the music of Sir Nicholas Magnus hits, and him and Lady James make their way down to the ring for the first time. Lady James then hands Magnus a microphone, and Magnus just begins to shh the crowd, and then he goes, if I may have a moment of your time, and if you could all be quiet for just a moment and listen to what I've got to say, I'm sure it's more important than anything you've got to say. Not necessarily the most, eye-opening statement there, but pretty much Magnus coming out straight up saying, showing everyone that he's cocky. He thinks he's the bee's knees. He thinks he's the dude. And telling everyone, I don't care what you got to say. What I've got to say is more important. But before he can continue on with what he's saying, the crowd begins to boo him. And then as he tries to get out what he's trying to say once again, the music of Hideo Itami hits. And he makes his first appearance in the NXT to a welcoming applause from the NXT universe as they're chanting, Hideo, Hideo. Most likely chanting Kenta more than anything. But Magnus was also not only, interrupted by Hideo Itami, but angered in the progress. And we've been hinting at Hideo Itami's face turn for quite a long time. Has had 7 segments. Let's complete this turn, shall we? It went pretty well, so now we finally have Hideo Itami as a face. We go to our opening match, the first round of the Prince of the Ring tournament, and we get a 61C, and a match that had some good action and average heat. Sir Nicholas Magnus defeats Hideo Itami in both their debut match, Nerds and Geeks. This is their first official match in NXT, and he defeats him in 10 minutes and a second with the Tormentum. We had a slight distraction from Tyler Breeze. If you remember, Breeze has issued a challenge to Hideo Itami. I'd imagine Hideo possibly getting ready for one of those kick things he does. Super kick? I don't know. He doesn't do a super kick, but it's been a while since I've seen him. I just imagine him getting ready set up, and then you hear Tyler Breeze's music hit, and he comes out, and Hideo kind of turns around. And I don't know exactly what the Tormentum is, but Magnus hits it and gets the pinfall victory. So we have Lady James doing good work ringside. By the way, if any of you don't know who Lady James is, it's Mickie James, just so everyone knows. And the interesting note here, Nerds and Geeks, was Sir Nicholas Magnus and Hideo Itami have great chemistry. That right there, not only was I not expecting, but I'm super excited for. Magnus and Itami have great chemistry. That is amazing. Thank you for that, guys. So let's look at the dirt sheet here. Since this is kind of like their first help, look at all the stuff. Lots of bonuses. So Magnus was penalized for holding back, and Hidami he's penalized for going all out, but everything else most of this is nothing I really could do to change. So good opening match and a good debut for both of them. We then go on. This is probably the only angle I didn't write out. And it's just Rhino pretty much backstage being interviewed. They're asking about we just saw Magnus move on in the tournament against Hideo Itami. Later on tonight, you'll be taking on Sami Zayn in our main event in the second match in the first round of the Prince of the Ring tournament. And then Rhino's just talking about how he has all this experience. Zayn's been out, and, Rhino's been working his ass off. And there's no way, pretty much just putting over the fact how Sami's weak, Rhino's not. And all it's going to take is a gore to put him out for good. So we got a 76 B- here, which to me is not a bad grade. But what's interesting to note is it says Rhino performed poorly. What? How? How did he? I would like to see how Rhino performs when he doesn't perform poorly, because that's a good grading. Thank you, Rhino. Thank you for that. That is not a poor segment. I don't know why that said poor. Whatever. So we then have a 42D segment. Again, not that great of an angle, but remember, it's NXT. We're not going to worry too much about this. It's about where you expect things to be sometimes. So Sasha Banks is backstage. She's being interviewed by about her title defense. I don't know why I said bye. I don't have anybody. She's been interviewed about her title defense against Charlotte next week, Nerds and Geeks. That's right. Not only will we have not round 2, but not only will round 1 of the Prince of the Ring tournament continue, but next week we also get the NXT Women's Championship match. All right. Calm down. Okay. Take a breath. So she's being interviewed about her title defense against Charlotte next week, and then Banks says, me and Charlotte go back. If there's anyone at NXT that knows me, it's her. But I know her too. And this title is proof that I can beat her. And I think she knows that she can't beat me. And then Alexa Bliss walks in before Sasha Banks can, finish what she's saying. She comes in, slow clap going down. And, tag team champions, Blake Murphy right behind her, the dubstep dudes. I don't really know what to call them. And anyone has a legit Blake Murphy tag team name, Dave Scott, I'm looking at you. Let me know. She comes in, flanked by the tag team champion. She says, you talk a big game, Sasha, but you don't need to worry about Charlotte. Instead, you should be worried about me, because after tonight, you'll be lucky to make it to your match next week. Banks then replies, that's big talk coming from someone as small as you, Blissy. You're the last person I'm worried about. If you think you're bringing your two Ken dolls with you was going to scare me, then you're even blonder than you look. Excuse me, I got like a tickle in my throat. I'm going to cough real quick, so let me mute my microphone if I can find it. There it is. All right, just had to get rid of that cough. Didn't want to do it in your guys' ears. So then Sasha Banks walks off after saying all that to Alexa Bliss, and then Bliss and Co. just kind of look frustrated as, Corey Graves or Renee Young put over. Next, Banks, Bliss. So Sasha came across well, but Alexa Bliss did not come out of this looking good. Unfortunate for her. She does have a poor gimmick, though, so I might have to take a look at that. And then before the next match, coming back from a commercial break, we have a 65C angle, which I'm really satisfied to see that. Tyler Breeze backstage, he's being interviewed about his Prince of the Ring match that will take place next week against Samoa Joe, and of course about his interference earlier tonight against in the Tommy Magnus match. And then Breeze responds, "Didn't you hear me last week? This Prince of the Ring tournament was made for me. I mean, who better to win the Prince of the Ring than none other than Prince Pretty himself? Certainly, no one is going to stop that. Not the gigantic Ugo Samoa Joe, and certainly not that Jap." But as soon as he's about to finish his sentence, saying that Japanese Ugo Hideo Itami most likely, in comes Hideo Itami. You hear him, and he just comes in and strikes Tyler Breeze, and the two start brawling backstage before they are separated by everyone. And Itami is pissed. Not only did Tyler Breeze cost him a chance to go further in the Prince of the Ring tournament, he cost him his opening match. We then go on to a 51D plus of a match. Excuse me again. Solid in-ring action, but not much weighing heat. Sasha Banks defeating Alexa Bliss with the Banks statement. Good. Alexa Bliss was off her game, unfortunately. Announcing quality wasn't up to the same standard as this match. Seriously? And the performance of Sasha Banks did stand out as being good, and we also have improvements for Alexa. She's improving in performance, so all in all, not too bad. She does have poor psychology. Oh, a negative crowd reaction. I highly doubt that. Alexa's got a lot of negatives going to her. We then go to a 62C, and it's you see Magnus and Lady James as they're walking out the door, and then here comes the weirdo white dude that interviews everybody that I don't know his name, to be honest. And he's like, "Oh, Magnus, James, Lady James, can I get a word real quick?" And he, asked them about, his thoughts on, congratulations on your win tonight, but what are your thoughts on the interference of Tyler Breeze? And then Magnus goes, "What? I could care less. That's what a Tommy gets for interrupting me and my lovely wife. Now, if you don't mind, could you piss off? Me and my wife are going out to celebrate." So Magnus still playing up that cocky, arrogant side of him right there, straight up like, "Piss off, dude. I don't care. I could care less if a Tommy got screwed over. I didn't." So I'm satisfied to see a 62C because now that they have some momentum going in their direction, it's working out. Then we go to a 72B minus. Wow, this is actually doing a pretty good show. I'm a little worried about Sammy and Rhino now. 72B minus. Finn Balor is being interviewed about his title match last week against Kevin Owens, and he goes, "It was a great match. It's a shame I came up short, but you know what? Kevin Owens, I know I can beat you. I know I can. And I'm issuing the challenge right here, right now. Kevin Owens, I want a rematch, and I want an answer soon. Don't make me come looking for you." So Finn Balor kind of getting a little threatening there, saying, "We had a good match. You came up the winner, but I know I can beat you, dude. So give me another match. Give me my answer. Pretty simple. If you don't, I'm coming to hunt you down." So we got a 70. That's a good rating. I am very satisfied with that. And our main event. Oh my lord! What? Huh? How? Never did I ever think, Nerds and Geeks. I would have never fathomed. I would have never dreamed. I would have never fantasized that Sami Zayn versus Rhino would have got a 77 rating. How? I mean, I'm happy. Don't let my reaction. I am stoked. That is, after this show, I'm going to have to check my top 10 and see if this has beaten anything. Because, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Nerds and Geeks, let's just get to the nitty gritty here. In a Prince of the Ring first round match, bout that featured great action and a good crowd, Sami Zayn makes his return to NXT and defeats Rhino in 10 minutes and 5 seconds with a brainbuster. 77B. How did I get that? Sami Zayn is improving in performance, though. That's pretty rad. What happened? Okay. What were they penalized by? I don't care. 77B. Thank you. This is our best NXT show I think we've ever done. A 72B minus? What a show. I'm going to have to check to see. Oh, look, Chase Stevens. That name sounds familiar. Did he wrestle in TNA by chance? I don't know if that's like a fact. I'm not saying. Oh, yeah, he did. That's where I thought I heard of him. Kind of looks like Braden Walker. Chris Harris, was that his name? I forgot his real. Braden Walker. That's sad that's how I can remember him as. Man, I'm still stoked about that NXT match. Apparently, Osama Nushu. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's staying. What a match. That was better than our SmackDown, I think. Abyss and Bobby Roode are now a team. Sweet Pain is their name. Okay. What? Did I not negotiate with him? I thought I did. See, the issue here is if I keep Flair around, I believe he's a negative influence for one. Let me go to his behavior. Yeah, he's a negative influence. He does more damage than good. I'm not keeping him around. See you later, Flair. Let's look at our email. Definitely was up. Come on, dude. Only a 20? Get out of my face. And decisions. Who do we... Oh, it's Mike Tenay! Finally! Well, welcome to the team, Mike Tenay. Alright, so... what I want to do before we end this off, Nerds and Geeks, is let's check our... I was just seeing... Out of curiosity, how far down is it? Right here. It's our 17th best event, and it's definitely our best NXT. So let's go to our top 100 matches. No, okay. Sami Zayn did not break the top 10, unfortunately for him. But he's most definitely down here. Just down here. He's in the top 20 matches. He's literally number 20. Hey, that's something. Top 20? Good for you, Sami Zayn. Alright, well, that's going to do it, Nerds and Geeks. I've got really nothing else to offer you guys at the moment. Hope you guys have enjoyed them. I enjoyed it, that's for sure. What a great NXT. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, a like, and subscribe. If you haven't already, also don't forget to share this video with your friends, Facebook, Twitter, and all the other places in the world and the internet that I don't know about. Help out the channel. Help me grow. Greatly appreciate it. If you enjoy this content, show it to the world. Maybe they would too. My name's been OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. I'll see you guys from Monday Night Raw, but until then, have a wonderful day.